Hey everyone, welcome to For Fuck's Sakes episode 9.
I think we're on 9 now.
We are on 9. We're in the car.
Where does
It's
the time
dark.
go?
I don't know.
It's a different car.
It's a different
It's
car.
not the normal car.
We're just borrowing this one.
Don't be thrown.
There's no dead bodies in the car. We're good.
Not today.
So, what should we talk about today?
Today, I was thinking about, where people learn about where babies come from. Because my kids ask me all sorts of questions about sex, which I am very forthcoming about, and I'm honest about it, and I talk to my kids openly. But
It's a good system.
when I was growing up, a lot of the people that I knew didn't know jack. They had no idea where babies came from. No clue. And the saddest thing, I think the saddest one of those was a friend of mine who had no idea how sex worked, and her parents were doctors. Both of them were doctors.
Oh my god.
Which it disturbs
did
me
they-
greatly. She thought that the man peed inside the woman and got her pregnant.
Oh lord.
She also thought that a rubber was like something to beat somebody with.
Like a rubber hammer?
Yeah, kind of thing. This was her idea.
Wow.
And I thought it was really strange that I was educating my friends about sex,
Yep.
where babies come from, how they're made. My mom, I have to give her total props. She, when it came to sex education, my mom was like no bones about it.
Yep.
If we said that, why does a boy have a penis? Why does a girl have a vagina? Yada. She explained everything. She's like, okay, well, it does this, and it fits like this, and this goes in here, and this is the mechanics of it, and this is how things work.
Yep.
And she even went so far as to borrow somewhere, I don't know where she borrowed from, but the Miracle of Life. You ever watch that movie?
No.
The Miracle of Life, really cool movie, by the way. I would recommend it if you can find it for your kids, because it shows, like, with camera work inside the woman's body from the moment of conception.
Okay.
Like, actually, from ejaculation. They
Wow.
show the ejaculation and the sperm swimming and the egg being fertilized and the baby growing, and showing like all the phases of how the baby grows and how it attaches and stuff, and right down to the birth. And that's the shit you want to show your kids, because that will scare the living fuck out of them. They will never ever, they will be really careful when they have sex when they see that, because it's very graphic. It's not for, they actually show the woman pushing,
But there's
and
so
the
many-
baby crowning.
But, like, okay, compared to, when you and I were learning about sex ed from at home, at school, whatever, there's been so many birthing videos. For some reason, women like putting them on YouTube.
Nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays, like, if I were to show my kids, like, my kids are 4, 6, and 8. 8-year-old doesn't care about anything. 4 and 6-year-old, they know, like, a penis is a penis, a vagina is a china.
Yes, I like
That's
that.
how they say
That's
that.
like the best
Yeah,
name for that ever.
they
Goes in China.
everything's made in China.
Everything fits in China.
But yeah, so it's really cute, because my daughter, she's 4, and she understands that a baby grows in the tummy. She understands that the tummy hurts a little bit, and then the mummy has to push, and then the baby comes out of the china.
That's pretty good for a 4-year-old.
For a 4-year-old, and she was 3
Yeah,
when she
when
started asking. They haven't asked how babies are made yet,
Yeah.
but when that comes, I'm going to, tell them straight up. Penis inside the vagina, squirts out some stuff.
Yeah.
You got a baby. Because I remember when my brother's 5 years younger, and he came up to me and asked me, how are babies made, Dominique? And I was just like, well, how do you think they're made? Because I wanted to know his opinion, because he's 5 years younger.
Right.
I already knew, because I learned in sex ed or health ed
Right.
class when I was like 11. And he was like, well, the baby grows in the tummy, so the mom cuts up the baby in little pieces and eats it, and then it like grows back together again. Or the mummy took a pill, a baby pill, and that's what grew the baby in the tummy. So I was amused. I didn't laugh at him, because, it's not nice. And I was just like, well,
Kudos.
go ask mom and dad.
I might have laughed a little.
I laughed inside. Sorry, JC. But anyway, I just said, go ask mom and dad. And parents were upstairs in their computer office room. And my dad's like, the stork. the bird,
You gotta be kidding me.
and my
Who
mother.
the fuck tells their kid the stork brings the baby?
He's French.
Oh,
I don't know.
come
Love you,
on.
Dad, but Then my mom was like instant freak out. She was like, "Okay, I'm going to the library and I'm gonna get a video because back then it was VHS videotape player,
You're aging us.
VCR." So, so we jumped in the car, went and got a cartoon video with like, man and a woman and a duck, and there was like bubbles covering the private parts, and then the duck blew away the bubbles and was like, "These are breasts, and this is your vagina and your penis," and then it showed a cartoon version.
I think it's so funny that
Yeah.
private parts are
In the
demonized.
90s. Yeah.
That why should a breast be any more taboo than an armpit or an elbow? It's a part of your body and it's a part
It's
of your
natural.
biological makeup. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. That was pretty much it. My brother was scarred for life, and I learned it all in school.
I had a friend of mine. Her sister called in the middle of the night, and she was in tears. I mean, she was just like, like the world was ending, like big time. And she was like, "I just gave a guy a blowjob and he came in my mouth. I'm gonna get pregnant." She honestly, and this was a girl who was, teenage years. Up there, upper high school grades.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a family that was extreme Catholic values, abstinence only.
Ooh.
This is what happens when you don't teach your kids about how the mechanics of sex works.
Yep.
You get people who go out completely unprepared,
Yep.
and that's when you get pregnant.
Yep.
That's when you get
That's
unwanted
teenage pregnancy.
Right there.
Yeah.
A little knowledge goes a long way. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, and I think, I had sex when I was 17. I'll be honest. I had sex when I was 17. And I obviously I studied it in school, what they teach you, the basics.
Yeah.
But like since then, there's been books written by nurses with like up-to-date terms.
Yeah.
Like, what does it mean to eat pussy, go down on a guy? What does it mean, like fuck their titties or fuck their throat or deep throating, whatever, or anal, take it up the back, whatever. And I think it's so good. And of course,
It's nice that it's opening up.
Exactly.
The way I learned about, other than education at school, which is basically, this is the penis, this is the vagina, this goes in, you get a baby. I found in my parents' bedside table the Joy of Sex book, which was just kind of like soft porn, but it was very educational for my young mind at the time.
Not traumatizing?
No, I never saw it as, it was beautifully done.
But you're very mature. You're very mature.
It's a beautiful book, though. Honestly, if you check out The Joy of Sex, it's very 70s, lots of bush hair, but it's very nice as a book. I still have like
memories, obviously,
but not joy. It was like, oh, that was a really nice book. It didn't it was talking about how two people can love each other in a sexual way, and I thought that was really it made an impression.
That's a good way. That's a good way. That's a good thing, because I think it was in the news back in Canada about these nurses promoting these books in, sex ed, in nurse offices and stuff, all these different terms and like different diagrams and stuff. And I would much rather my child learn from a nurse or a doctor.
Yes,
These are the terms. If they're too shy to ask me, "Mommy, what's a blowjob? What's 69? What's reverse cowgirl? What's this? What's that?" then I would want them to feel comfortable to get a copy of that nurse book with, sex ed information in it and learn from a book than learning firsthand. And then my kids being like, "Mom, I knocked up a chick. Mom, I'm pregnant because I got one of each. What do I do?" Or like secretly having an abortion behind my back because they're scared that I would judge them.
I'm telling you, man. Show your kids pictures and videos of birth. That will put the fear of God in them, and they ain't gonna want to have sex right away, or they're gonna want birth control or condoms. Believe me. If they know, that brings up a whole nother subject. All the crap I wish I'd known before I got pregnant. Tell your kids all this stuff. Honestly,
it's so
tell
true.
them what you went through when you were pregnant. If you're a lady,
share everything. Don't sugarcoat any of that shit, because you just shouldn't. Just don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Just be like, it hurt pushing you out.
Yeah. I talked about stuff really, really factually to my kids. I don't say, oh, the hoo-ha, or, I don't
I
give
don't
it
say
cute
that either.
names or anything.
No.
It's penis, vagina,
Vagina.
scrotum, testicles, so on and so forth.
Breasts, boobies.
I've had some really funny situations with my kids, just really weird. Like the first time my son got a boner, I was completely unprepared for that.
Oh God.
That I didn't expect little boys to get boners so young.
How old are we talking?
5, 4.
I haven't really noticed.
Anyway, he got his first boner and he freaked out. I mean, he freaked out. He's like, "Oh my God, mom, it won't go down. I don't know what to do." And he was scared.
Yeah, Amen did too. Actually, now that I remember, yeah,
he was really scared. And my response, "It's okay. Your body is just testing everything out, making sure that stuff works. It will go down by itself.
That's a nice way to put it. A test."
My friend, on the other hand, who had 2 boys, when her boy came in with his first boner, she says, "Oh my God, don't touch it. Go talk to your father." That was her response.
That's going to instill fear.
Yeah, you're going to give your son a complex.
Yeah, that's going to instill fear into the child, and they're going to feel self-conscious. Like, am I big enough? And especially where we live in Finland, being naked around a stranger, not like in public, but like in the sauna, for example, or sauna, it's totally normal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind.
People don't care.
Yeah. And
like
the kids are going to explore themselves. They're going to touch themselves.
Yep, we all do it.
Oh, God, my son, I don't know if I should tell this or not. He was in the shower and he had decided that putting a finger in his butt felt good. I tried really hard not to laugh.
You texted me right away.
I got so
messages.
Trying to hold it together. And he was. I had told him to wash his butt and his penis, and you wash with soap, and he had, I guess, just went up in there, and he's like, "Mom, this feels good," and I'm like, "Oh my God, oh, save me!" I was laughing.
It's a tricky situation because it's not jerking off,
right? It's still, it's still discovering your body and what feels good.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to give him a complex, but I don't want to be that mom that gives him the complexes, that have to do with sex and his body.
Yeah. So
my response was, okay, just make sure that you wash your hands with soap when you're done.
That's the most biggest thing. I don't care what you're doing as long as it's like not foreign objects, you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah. He wasn't hurting anybody. And he hasn't done it since then. He only did it the one time. And I mean, I left him there, and I went on my way. Just wash your hands when you're done, honey.
Yeah.
You don't poop on your fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Chocolate.
but that one threw me for a loop. I have to say, I was like, I try not to laugh.
I mean, my kids haven't experimented with any sort of masturbation yet. Yeah. It happens. Every person goes through it. I haven't noticed
it yet.
Yeah, my son and my daughter, they haven't. Like, now that I think about it, yeah, my second son, he did get a boner once and kind of freaked out and was like, "Look, it won't go down," but it was more like a toy.
Yeah.
He was excited.
Yeah.
And then, so it just depends how you're raised. I think how you're raised is how it affects the way you raise your kids.
I so have to give my mom props for being so straight with me, because I think I'm able then to tell my kids very straight.
And I think because my mom and dad, like, my dad jokes around a lot, like he's a clown type, and so am I.
Yeah.
And my mom's very strict. So for me, it was like, okay, I know how to not handle situations, because I've had, situations when I was younger, I was sexually active, I didn't know what I was doing, I was in love, with the high school boyfriend for many years. So, of course, experimenting. And like I said, I wish that nurse handbook came out, when I was a teenager. Then I wouldn't
been so much better prepared.
I would be prepared, exactly.
Know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and I have a girlfriend. She said like her parents were super strict, conservative as well, and she had an incident of sexual harassment, perhaps even rape. And the thing is, she said like, I wish I knew what was wrong, what felt wrong, how to deal with it. And I think sex, our bodies, rape, they should not be taboo. Never. You should just be upfront, like, this is how it is.
Openly talk about things.
Openly talk about it. Don't sugarcoat it.
About it. And I think the more open you are with your kids from the get-go, the more open your kids are going to be with you later on when they become sexually active.
Or curious.
I talked with my mom. I told her
didn't.
stuff. And my mom was the coolest. She's like, all right, if you are considering becoming sexually active with your boyfriend, let's go to the doctor. Let's get you checked out. Let's get you on some birth control.
That's
I
awesome.
want you to have a life. I don't want you to have children. I want you to be prepared for when you want to have kids.
Yeah.
And
This is what to
damn,
expect.
my mom, of
you
course,
know?
it killed her inside to like know that I might be going to have sex with somebody because I'm like her baby.
Yeah, of course. We don't
But-
want to think of our kids going out to have sex, but
Better to know that, okay, my daughter understands how this stuff works. She's got birth control. She knows what she's doing.
mhm.
I was as well prepared as any, like better than any teenager that I knew at that
wow,
time.
that's amazing.
Nobody I knew what I knew,
Yeah.
which is really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I knew all the mechanics and shit. I was terrified to death to get pregnant. I was
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
I
Like
waited
that's
a
my
while.
that's my strategy. Like
I think I was like 18 when I had sex the first time.
yeah, I was 17, but again, it was an experiment.
Mm.
It was actually a failed anal attempt,
Yeah.
and that's how I lost my virginity.
Oops.
Whoops.
Jesus. What a way.
Yeah, and again, no loop, so hence the horrible experience.
Oh, God.
So,
Yeah, watch the other video.
previous video.
Watch
Well,
the
before
video.
the
Oh, our
no,
light's
the
going
light.
off.
Wait, what are we doing? Okay, we're back. Again.
Apparently 15 minutes is the limit for the light to be on.
Now
So
we know.
We have the
The
light.
light.
It's like the last drink of the bar, you know?
Yeah, it's last call. But yeah, I like I said, like I would much rather my kids, be upfront, ask me questions. And this was something that I discussed with my ex too, that, if the kids are talking about masturbation, if the kids are talking about sex, what are we going to do about it? Because I want us to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Whether we divorce in the future or not. Like, I want us to be parents together. And he was just like, well, what do you think? And I said, well, we should be upfront and honest because
Yeah.
I don't want our daughter coming home or our son being like, I got someone pregnant, guess who? Or,
think, and one of the big things for me too is I want my kids to enjoy sex.
yes.
I want it
Safely.
to be a beautiful part of
Yep.
their life.
Yep.
Sex is wonderful. It feels great. It's sensual. It's a way to bring people together,
Yep.
to increase the love between two people. I
Definitely.
mean, it doesn't just have to be a booty call.
Yeah,
but-
and it doesn't have to be a fucking or a quickie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want that experience for my kids, and I don't want them to have these hang-ups that they got from their parents because their parents were too afraid to talk about sex.
Yeah.
Or some really horrible experience they had in their teenage years because they didn't have enough information to make good decisions.
Knowledge is power.
It is.
Definitely. So I guess educate, equip them with the knowledge, with the birth control method of
You are
their
not hurting
choice.
them by teaching them
Yeah.
about sex. You are educating them and giving them powerful tools to make better life decisions.
Yeah. And everyone, except for perhaps nuns and extremely religious
And if
people.
you're terrified to have your kids talk to you about sex, have them talk to us. We'll tell them everything.
We will. Perhaps in the next video. Because the light's probably going to die out again.
Probably.
And my dog needs to go for a pee.
That too.
Thanks for watching. Like, share,
Bye.
subscribe. We love you. Bye.